Okay, so I had a few people ask about how to embed an Edmodo calendar into Google Sites, and here's the best thing I've come up with. So here I am inside my Edmodo planner. As you can see, I've created a couple events. Here's the quiz. I've created something called the Zombie Apocalypse, and this was created using new event. Oops, cancel. And this one here was created using new task. So I'm going to create another two right now just so you can see that. New event, let's call this one, or let's put the date after the zombie apocalypse, say zombie redemption. Great. Oh, a recipient is required. We're going to send this out to all my students in the IPT 286 group. So there it is, it just pops up. Now let's create a new task. Make friends with zombies. And so that should pop up here. Okay, so you can kind of see the slight coloration. This one's light blue, this one's dark blue, kind of signifying these are tasks, these are events. And the quiz was a quiz event that just kind of populated itself automatically when I created a quiz on my calendar. Okay, so I walk up, I click, or drag my mouse, click on the little gear, click export, and it creates this little exported file. You can see I've done this multiple times. And this is put into my downloads folder. You can click on the little arrow, click show in folder, and you can see it there. We're going to go to, here's my Google Sites that I have, but I want to go to Google Calendar. So you can do this by searching in this URL window or bar, or the search bar, Google Calendar, and being logged into your Google account. And then what I do is I click on this drop down arrow, click on settings, say import calendar, choose a file. Now if you remember, my files are in the downloads folder. The name of it was T. Beckstrom, and it was the fourth one I did because I've been doing this a while. I open, and this is telling me which calendar these are going to be added to. I'm going to add it to the sequential art demo, which is for my my Google Sites calendar. So I import that. It says process 3 events, and notice it says 3 events, and it doesn't recognize the tasks, which we'll get to this a little later. So I click on the sequential art demo. This takes me back to the calendar, and whoops, I accidentally dragged that down. So as you can see, whoops, I'm going to turn off my T. Beckstrom calendar. This is my sequential art demo calendar, all these events here. So here's the zombie redemption, here's the zombie apocalypse party we added just now. Notice there is no making friends with zombies or what was the other one we did? Buy zombie makeup sort of thing. It does not do tasks at converting from Edmodo to Google Sites. And so what we want though is if we go to my Google Sites here, let's save this and let's find out how to view this. Preview pages viewer. So this is what it's going to look like as myself visiting this website I've created. I'm like, oh look, my teacher has put on 2 events. Oh my gosh, the zombie apocalypse is happening on the 16th. And then there's a redemption for the zombies. Okay, so 18th. And I can plan for these things. However, this does not automatically update. I've had it explained to me that this is what is called static calendar versus dynamic. And what I mean by that is, in Edmodo, if I were to add a new event, such as, test, and created it, keep forgetting I need recipients for this, create, and I were to do that, and then, I have to re-export everything all over again, go to Google Calendars, and settings, and import calendar, and then import it all over again to have it update to the Google Sites. So this is not, like I said, a dynamic thing where if you were to add an event to Edmodo, it automatically will update it to your Google Calendar, which will then update to your Google Sites. It is static, which means if you make a change here, and remember, it only does events, it will not do tasks in Edmodo. And I did not see my quiz either. Let's take a look at that. But let's finish what I was saying before. If you add an event here, it does not automatically add itself to the Google Calendar because they are not actively linked. It is something that you have to go in and import on your own. So, sorry, once again, let's look for quiz, because let's see if you can find quiz. I don't see it on April 4th, and that was something else I've noticed about Edmodo, is that it does not seem to add notifications for quizzes on the calendar. So when you're doing your Google Sites in Edmodo, if you decide to use both these tools, it might be useful perhaps to just have a link for calendar when students click on the calendar button and have it link to your Edmodo site, where you can just keep one calendar updated all the time rather than having to constantly update both of them like I've kind of shown you here. And that is my advice and my kind of tutorial on embedding Edmodo calendars into Google Sites.